Vroom vroom. Welcome back to Cool Rides in New England. Today we are going to try something new. This is a series that I am going to give a shot at. I'm going to call it Keep It, Kill It, Resurrect It. And this whole series will be on cars that I think companies, that we've heard are going to be discontinuing and giving arguments for them to keep it, or cars that are still around for some unknown reason, and that's going to be kill it. And then cars that have been gone and should be brought back, resurrect it. So today's episode, we're going to work on the Resurrect It side. I have always been a fan of, I'm a kid of the 80s. I was born in the late 70s. All the Malaise era 80s cars still hold a dear spot in my heart. And one of these cars is a Pontiac Fiero. Pontiac Fiero was built from 1983 to 1988, and in that 5-year span, 370,000 cars were sold. Its closest competitor was the Toyota MR2. In that same period, they only sold 163,000. So half as much, same time period, pretty close on cars. They were size-wise similar, both rear-engined, mid-engined, and both had their own little special niche. And the Fiero was way ahead of its time. Fiero, in 1984, when it, I take that back, 84 to 88. 83 is when they showed a concept. So 84, when the first Fieros rolled off the line, they were, of course, crash tests by the government. And believe it or not, there was only one car made in 1984 that was safer. That car? The Volvo 240. Now, everybody knows Volvos, especially those 240s, are safe as hell. But nobody really knew that the Fiero was the second best car. That was because they were built with a crash structure that completely encased the car. The body panels were plastic. They could be easily removed. The car was strong enough and good enough to drive around without the body panels on if they needed to be, because the body panels were just there for looks. So why did the Fiero fail? Partially, it was really underpowered. It, throughout its 4-5 years, whatever it is, of production, the base engine was the infamous Iron Duke 4-cylinder. It's a 2.5 liter inline 4, and it made a whopping 98 horsepower and 135 pound-feet of torque. Now, in 85, Pontiac did give you the option of another engine. That would be the 2.8 liter V6 that you could get in Chevy Celebrity Eurosports, Cavaliers. The Camaros came with the 2.8s. It was their kind of bread and butter, mid-sized V6 for the era. Even that car was grossly underpowered. 135 horsepower, 165 pound-feet of torque. Now, compared to the cars of today, we'll say its spiritual successor, the closest thing would have been the Pontiac Solstice. Now, these cars are pretty much same size. They're within a couple inches wheelbase, a couple inches length, height, and width. They weighed almost the same. The Fieros came in at 2460. For the 4-cylinders, up to 2789 for a fully optioned GT with the 6-cylinder and all that good stuff. Solstice came in at 2877. So both cars pretty even on weight, but Solstice came with a 260 horsepower, 260 pound-feet 4-cylinder, 2.0 4-cylinder base engine only. Not sure if they did a V6. Hit me up in the comments below if they did a V6 in the Solstice. Anyway, so this car, Fiero, could definitely be brought back. Now, in a perfect situation, and this is what I'm going to go on because why not? We're going to say, then you have your mid-engined Corvette. Might be a good time to spin Corvette off, have it be its own brand. So you have the Corvette Stingray, as your front engine rear drive, kind of like the Ferrari. I'm going to get this wrong, like the FFX. No, I'm wrong on that. The Ferraris. There's some front engine Ferraris out there, the Grand Tours. So that could be kind of like that car. Then you have your mid-engined Corvette, the C8 that's supposed to be coming out. They've talked about another name, a Mako. Maybe that's the Mako. They've also talked about an E-Ray, which might be an electric car. So why not put a mid-size, smaller Corvette in there? Call it the Manta Ray. I don't know. But anyways, they've got, GM's got the staple of engines that could go in it. We've got a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, 250 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. That would move a little 2-seat car around. We've got a 2.5 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated, 197 horsepower, 192 pound-feet. That again, with the right weight, could be quite the little mover. Or, if you want to do a V6 like the original Fieros, how about the 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6? 304 horsepower, 264 pound-feet of torque. Now, all these engines, the LTG, LCV, and LFX, they are all in production right now in other GM cars. So engine transmission options, not a big deal. And the funny thing with the original Fiero that some people may not know is the engines and transmission setups. Basically, it's a front wheel drive car. It's they took I believe it was the whole front engine, transmission, the axles, brakes, the whole shebang, the whole front substructure, engine substructure, out of a Chevy Citation, and just threw it in underneath there. It even has tie rods in there. They are one piece that aren't adjustable, but it's a tie rod. It's really just the front end mechanics from a Chevy Citation. The front suspension and all the workings were out of a Chevette. If they want to go that same route, why not? You can take the front end of the front mechanical ends of the Buick Regal. It's a great car. Put the engine in the back of this car. Put the same sort of mechanics in the front. Why not? But I think that the Solstice was a great looking car. The Fiero was a great looking car. If you've never driven a Fiero, a lot of people say there was nothing big about it. I drove one. Granted, it was back when I was 15 and was had a permit, but the thing drove amazing. They got great gas mileage because it was really light, really small engines, whatnot. Who wouldn't want that today? So anyways, that's a car that I think should be resurrected. Don't have to call it a Fiero, but small, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, manual, automatic transmissions, whatever you want in there. Have it space age-ish. My most favorite of all those cars is actually one of the most rare. 1988. They're kind of swan song for the Fiero. They did a V6 Fiero GT with T-tops. I love T-tops. Love to see a car with T-tops again. Even a Targa top. If Porsche can do it, why can't Chevy? Anyways, that's all I'm going to ramble on about today. I hope you guys enjoyed this new series. If you did, hit that subscribe button. We do have some pretty new, amazing stuff in the works. Let you guys know about more about that when we get closer to unveiling. So stick with us, stick with the channel. Make sure to tell all your friends and family about this. Get them involved, and have a day. Hopefully, it's a good one.